Hi there. So, we will talk about this wonderful research on how to be better in our relationships. So, they have studied over 3,000 couples, and this is Gottman, along with his wife, psychologist Julia Schwartz Gottman. So, they are both very well known in this field. They lead the Gottman Institute, a relationship company and therapist training entity. They are also co founders of Effective Software, a program aimed at making marriage and relationship counseling methods more accessible to a broader audience. So in 2007, Gottman was acknowledged as one of the 10 most influential therapists of the past 25 years by the Psychotherapy Network. His contributions have extended to the development of key concepts in social sequence analysis, further enriching the understanding of relationship dynamics and interactions. So, these are the list of books, a few of them that they have already published under Dr. Gottman's name and also his wife. So, let's learn this amazing tool together. This is actually a result of a 7-year study, and let me share this bids for connection. When you say bids for connection, it is an action or gesture requesting for your partner's attention. So there are three responses that we must know. The first one is turning towards, the second one is turning away, and the third one is turning against. So when we turn towards the bid of connection for our partner, we interact with the conversation, being interested, asking questions, and even wanting to know more about it. So, an example would be your partner commenting on a certain thing, and then you would also comment on that, and that would be more on a conversation or asking another follow up question. Next is turning away. When we turn away with a certain bid, we don't care. We don't even give a reaction. There's a possibility we did not even notice it. There's also a possibility that we just don't want to react. Like we're just scrolling on the phone, not reacting, and then letting our partner just talk, and there's no interaction at all. That's something that you want to refrain from doing. The third one is turning against. When we turn against, we reject the bid and showing a negative response. So, usually, when a partner says a certain topic, you're quick to correcting that and defending your stand. And usually, it leads to this big argument. So, what Dr. Gottman or the Gottmans want us to do is actually to turn towards every bit of connection because they have studied couples, and those couples who constantly or who at least most of the time turn towards any bits of connection in their relationship, they will always end up happy by the end of the day, and they will be able to make the relationship work. And that's what the Gottmans call them, master of relationships. Here we would like to see the difference of a successful couple and an unhappy couple. So here we have already talked about bids of connection. 86% of the time, the successful couples are able to turn towards those bits of connection. If only there are like 33% of the time they turn towards those bits of connection, usually they are observed, or that statistics is observed with unhappy couples. So let's talk about successful couples. They aim to listen, to understand. Unhappy couples, they aim to listen to rebut. So, what I'm saying here, because if there is a difference of opinion and you ask your partner, you do follow up questions. What you aim to do there is to understand the reason of that mindset that your partner has, to understand why they did not want to do such thing, why they would prefer a different thing. And based on their research, usually, most of the time, there's always a deeper reason. It's either from a childhood trauma or there's this reasoning behind them that is a big part of their personality. If the other person strives to understand that, then they'll be able to understand and compromise. However, if we go with unhappy couples, they listen to rebut. So they listen and they look for ways to defend their own reasoning. They don't want to listen because they want to understand you. They want to listen because they know that they're right and I can prove you're wrong. So that's a mindset or a response that we really don't want to develop in a growing relationship, especially in marriage. Next, now we have already seen the contrast with that, right? With listening to understand for successful couple, they always want to go deeper. They ask the right questions. And at times you will find them with sense of humor. So one way or another, they laugh about their mistakes. They don't make a big deal out of it. They might react, but they end up laughing about it. And that's something that they constantly see in successful couples. Now, let's talk about this unhappy couple and the four horsemen of relationship. We'll go deeper on that later on and talk more about the difference and the way or the antidote to each and every horseman. We have here criticism, defensiveness, contempt, and stonewalling. So let's talk more about it in depth on the next slide. So these are the four horsemen of the apocalypse. That's what the Gottman Institute calls it. And these are relationship behaviors that lead to failure. So let's understand each one. First is criticism. It's more on blaming your partner's personality flaw. So we're very quick to point the finger and to blame our partner, saying, it's your fault because this is how you were brought up, because this is your personality, because this is who you are. And that's criticism. So the best antidote for that, research-based antidote, is you talk about your feelings using I statement, then express a positive need. An example for that is you don't point at them that you did this and then I felt this. No, you stop looking or pointing the finger to them. You focus on how you felt at that time. So you'll say, I was really hurt when you said that comment, and it was something that was very sensitive for me, or that was, kind of on the edge. So I would really appreciate it if you would stop doing or saying those jokes or those comments. So that's one way to look at it. But let's focus on stopping with our basic habits of blaming our partner. The next one is defensiveness. So it's being a righteous victim. You want to counter attack. So we usually end up again blaming our partner. So it's more on blaming our partner. But here we tend to act as if we're the victim. Or let's say you also drag them along, like you didn't do it either. So The best antidote for that is we accept responsibility, even only for part of the conflict. There was this seminar that I went through or that I attended, and basically, one way to really fix a certain conflict is not just to let your partner say sorry because of this and that, but you also find fault to yourself, saying sorry as well. So it's not about who says sorry first, but both of you saying sorry and knowing that it's not only the other partner to blame. Both of you have a contribution to the fight or to the conflict. The third one is contempt. And contempt is one of the greatest indicator of a failing relationship. We really need to make sure and to ask God for grace that we do not practice this in our relationship. So when we do contempt, we look down on our partner with disgust. And it's more on the superiority complex, seeing yourself as better than the other one. So it shows off in different ways, but most of the time it's sarcasm, eye rolling, mockery, hostile humor. So that's something that you can see in contempt. The best antidote for that is to treat one another with respect and build a culture of appreciation within the relationship. Let us not be too stingy with giving appreciation to our partners. Even the slightest thing that we notice that needs appreciation, let's appreciate them. Because sometimes that's what we need to hear for a long and tiring day. So let's learn that all together. Now, this stonewalling thing, the fourth one, they say it's the last thing that you'll be doing once you feel like there's no hope in a relationship. You basically make no response and just shut down. You don't care anymore. You accept it that that's how your relationship works, and I just have to live with it. You don't want to talk about the conflicts. You just try to move on without even talking about it. So, the best antidote for that is to take a break for 20 minutes, calm down, but you need to return to the conversation. You know, in the Bible, we are taught to not let the sun go down with a fight, with any relationship, with our parents, with our siblings, with our spouses. Well, there's this friend of mine who told me that, what if you fought during night? So, you know, well, let's just get the gist of it, okay? Let's make sure that the day does not end with a fight. If you're fighting at night, then when the day comes, you make sure you make up for it. So here, Dr. Gottman can predict relationship failure with 90% accuracy if these four horsemen are seen in the relationship. So we need to aim on changing that. We want to protect our relationship. We want to make sure that our relationship are healthy. And sometimes it's a matter of looking at the mirror and saying that I must have done something wrong and I need to correct it. Or let's stop blaming. Let's stop pointing the fingers and examine our hearts, examine ourselves. So I've been learning this now, and it's not always perfect for me, but I hope after hearing this, you'll also want to learn about it. Have a great day and God bless.